The hum of generators was Lagos' heartbeat, a constant rhythm against the city's frantic pulse. But that evening, stuck in gridlock on the third mainland bridge, the metallic tang of exhaust fumes heavy in the humid air, it felt like a mournful song. Each passing yellow downfall bus, packed tight with weary faces, reflected a piece of my own exhaustion. My mind, usually sharp with the day's hustle, kept drifting back to Funmi, a phantom ache in my chest. We would been together since our Unilag days, two bright-eyed students navigating lectures and campus guests. Our love story began amidst the vibrant chaos of Akoka, sharing plates of Mama Put's jollof rice, stealing kisses behind lecture halls. Young, ambitious, full of the kind of hope only Lagos could inspire and crush, we were the perfect match, or so I thought. Our first real fight, she would tell me she was not sure about our future. Then she would broken up with me over a terse phone call. My world had stopped, just like this traffic. But then she came back, said it was a mistake, a split-second decision made in a moment of panic. I would pour my soul into making things right, into proving I was her future. I took her to fancy restaurants in Victoria Island, bought her little gifts from Balogun Market, surprised her with tickets to a show. For a while, it worked. We laughed, we planned, we dreamed. We were Kunle and Funmi again, inseparable like pounded yam and egusi soup. Then the long holiday came. Her family lived in Abuja, so she flew up there. At first, the calls were long, filled with gists about her family, funny market stories, the usual banter. But slowly, subtly, the warmth began to fade. Her replies became shorter, punctuated by long pauses. FaceTimes, once a nightly ritual, became rare, then non-existent. My chest tightened with each unanswered call, each I am busy text that felt like a brick in a growing wall. I felt it, like a chill wind blowing through a flimsy door. Something was fundamentally wrong, and Lagos, with its unending noise and relentless pace, just seemed to amplify my silent dread. I sat with Tunde and Emeka at a lively roadside buka in Surulere, the air thick with the irresistible aroma of sizzling suya, mingled with the heavy scent of exhaust fumes. The clatter of plates and the loud chatter of fellow patrons usually brought me comfort, but tonight it just grated on my nerves. Omo, I no understand Funmi again, I confessed, pushing my half-eaten plate of grilled fish aside, losing my appetite. Tunde, ever the pragmatist with his own long-term girlfriend, shook his head. I bet Kunle, you two they overthink. She just they far na normal. Give her space. Girls like that kind thing sometimes. Emeka, who would just nurse a broken heart from a similar situation, was less optimistic. He took a long drag from his drink. My brother, when a woman starts acting like that, he get why. If it be say she don't meet person or she just don't see her. His words stung, a harsh slap of reality, but I pushed him away. I loved Funmi. I had to fight for what we had. I tried everything to bridge the distance. Sent her recharge cards for her phone, a beautiful new Ankara dress I saw while hustling through the crowded aisles of Computer Village. I even started planning a surprise weekend trip to a Budu Mountain resort for when she returned, picturing her joy. I called, I texted, I poured out my heart in long voice notes, detailing my day, our shared memories. Her responses were always polite, always appreciative, but flat, devoid of the spark I once knew, like an echo without a source. I am just really tired, Kunle. Abuja traffic is something else. I need to figure things out for myself, especially with NYSC around the corner. I am not sure if I am ready to be committed to a relationship right now. There is so much happening. Each vague answer felt like a small, deliberate knife twisting in my gut. It was not about another guy, I knew that much. It was something deeper, something about her, about us. And the scariest part? She did not know what it was either. She just knew it was there, between us, growing like a silent wall made of unspoken doubts. The day she was finally due back in Lagos, I felt a potent flicker of the old hope, bright enough to momentarily blind me to the preceding weeks of doubt. Maybe seeing me, being back in the familiar, vibrant chaos of Lagos, would reset things. I navigated the notorious traffic on the Apapa Oshodi Expressway, the relentless blare of horns, a soundtrack to my racing heart. The Murtala Mohammed International Airport was a constant churn of hellos and goodbyes, a chaotic mosaic of anxious faces and joyful reunions. I stood there, eyes scanning the stream of passengers, my anxiety building with each passing minute, a knot in my stomach. Then, finally, I saw her, Funmi, her smile, bright and genuine, a beacon that almost made me forget the past month of emotional turmoil. She looked tired from the flight, but utterly beautiful, even in her simple jeans and a lightweight, brightly patterned blouse. She ran into my arms, hugging me tight, her familiar scent washing over me. For a moment, just for a precious, fleeting moment, it felt like nothing had changed. We drove through the bustling streets of Igeja, stopping at a local spot near Maryland for some much-needed jollof rice and juicy peppered turkey, her favorite. She laughed, told me animated gists about her Abuja adventures, playfully critiqued the jollof, just like she always did. We opened the Christmas presents I would carefully wrapped, her eyes lighting up at the elegant new watch and a pair of fashionable sandals. Later, back in our family's comfortable Ikoyi apartment, we just talked, reminisced about our Unilag days, about late night study sessions, the endless group projects, and stolen kisses behind the lecture halls. It was perfect. So perfect. It almost scared me, like a fragile dream I was afraid to wake from. We decided to grab some fresh fruit smoothies at a quiet, art-filled cafe tucked away in Lekki Phase 1 later that evening. The place was an oasis of calm, a stark contrast to the relentless energy of the city outside, with its soft jazz music and gentle lighting. As we sat there, sipping our drinks, a comfortable silence fell between us. Too comfortable. I took a deep, fortifying breath, the weight of the unspoken hanging heavy in the air. For me, I began, my voice barely steady. What are we doing? What is really going on? She looked down at her hands, twisting the colorful straw in her glass, her usually expressive eyes clouded. The vibrant Ankara fabric of her top, once a symbol of her bright spirit, seemed to dim under the weight of her unspoken words. Kunle, her voice was soft, barely a whisper against the low music. I love being with you. I really do. You make me so comfortable. I can truly be myself around you. Today was amazing, like old times. My heart soared at her sincerity, then plummeted, a familiar sickening drop, as she continued. But I am just not sure about us, about this relationship anymore. Not in the way I thought I was. Suddenly, a nearby generator sputtered to life, its diesel engine roaring to a deafening crescendo, momentarily drowning out her next words. It was a cruel, almost theatrical irony, underscoring the violent disruption in my own carefully constructed world. When the noise settled a bit, she repeated, her voice firmer now. I am young, Kunle. I want to experience things, explore life without the commitment right now. I do not know if I am the person you want to grow with at this age, or if I even know who I am yet. My mind reeled. It was all the things I would dreaded, whispered to me with a kind smile, a tear threatening to spill. She was not leaving me for someone else. She was leaving me for herself, for the vast, terrifying unknown. And in that moment, sitting in that trendy Lagos cafe, I knew our time was borrowed, a ticking clock I could not rewind or ignore. The weight of her words sat heavy on my chest, a physical ache that tightened my breathing. I looked at her, truly looked at her, and saw not just the Funmi I loved, the girl from Unilage, but a young woman grappling with her own evolving identity, her own fierce hunger for personal freedom. It was a selfish kind of honesty, one that shattered my neatly arranged world but felt undeniably, painfully real. What was I supposed to do? Hold on to a ghost of a relationship, existing on borrowed time, hoping she would eventually find her way back to me after her exploration? Or cut the cord, set myself free from this agonizing limbo, and risk regretting it forever, wondering what if for the rest of my days? The stark advice from Emeka, the cold pragmatism of Tunde, it all flooded my mind, mixing with my own desperate hopes. End things for your own sanity, my rational self screamed, a stark warning. But my heart, stubborn and bruised, clung desperately to the memory of our perfect day, the warmth of our hug at the airport, the genuine happiness in her eyes when she opened my gifts. I walked aimlessly through the buzzing, chaotic streets of Computer Village in Ikeja, the shouts of vendors hawking phones and accessories, the endless haggling over prices, the blare of music from roadside stalls. It was a dizzying, overwhelming backdrop to my internal chaos. Every face I saw seemed to hold a story of its own, a silent battle being fought. Did everyone feel this lost sometimes? I knew she did not cheat. I knew there was no other guy. It was simply that she had grown, she had changed, and I had perhaps stayed anchored to a past version of us. And that, in the fast-paced, ever-changing landscape of Lagos, was a recipe for an unbridgeable distance. I did not end it that night. We agreed to give it time, to see where her feelings would lead. A foolish hope, perhaps, but one I desperately needed to hold on to, if only to prolong the inevitable. We spent a few more days together, a fragile illusion of normalcy, before she finally went back to Abuja. Each moment felt precious, tinged with a bittersweet certainty that it would not last. Like watching a breathtaking Lagos sunset, its vibrant colors painting the sky in hues of orange, purple, and fiery red, knowing it would eventually disappear below the horizon, taking the light with it. Walking alone later that week along the Lekki Ipe Expressway, the real sun dipping low, casting long shadows across the asphalt, I felt a strange, profound sense of clarity. The city around me, usually a roaring source of boundless energy, now felt indifferent to my personal pain. The iconic yellow downfall buses sped past, their conductors yelling out destinations. The streetlights flickered on, illuminating the relentless, unending hustle. Lagos does not wait for anyone. Neither should I. I realized then that sometimes loving someone truly means letting them go, even if they have not quite physically left yet. It means accepting that individual growth can be a solitary, often painful journey, and that paths, even those once deeply intertwined, can diverge. My heart was broken, yes, raw and exposed, but it was not shattered beyond repair. I had loved deeply, fought fiercely for what I believed in, and learned the painful, undeniable truth. A love existing on borrowed time can never truly be yours, can never provide the solid ground you need. I did not know what my future held, or where I would go from here, but I knew I could not stay in this agonizing limbo forever. Lagos, with its relentless, forward-moving spirit, demanded movement, demanded progress, demanded a choice. And so I would move too, one painful, uncertain step at a time, towards a future I now had to build alone.